Hey everyone, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to talk about how to keep eyeliner from smudging on mature eyes. I don't know about you, but this time of year I can go and I can put my eyeliner on, and then if I get into a hot car or I'm outside for any bit, I'll go into the bathroom and wash my hands, and I can see I have eyeliner all up in here. It's like traveled all the way down to the lower part of my eye, and it basically looks like a mess by lunchtime. In today's video, I want to share with you what you can do to stop that from happening. So if that interests you, continue watching. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Kathleen, and I create content for mature women, and it's really about effortless, simple hair and skincare and makeup also. So it's nothing too complicated, very simple routines, but effective. So if that interests you, consider subscribing. Now let's talk about eyeliner smudging. So what are some things that we can do to stop it from smudging? So first off, if you have oily lids, a lot of times the smudging happens if you have oily lids. Go in there and wipe your lids down with like a makeup wipe or a Q-tip, with whatever you typically use to take your makeup off with. Just nothing with oil in it. And just simply go in there and wipe it down very gently, go across your lashes, and then let that dry completely. So the drier your lid is before you apply liner, the better it will stay. A lot of times throughout the day, we will produce oil on our lids, which will cause the liner to just migrate. So that's step one. Step two is to go in there with a primer. I'm gonna go in there with this one here from Paint Pop, and I'm going to put a very thin layer of primer across my lid. A lot of people skip this step thinking primers aren't necessary, but I can tell you, if you're having problems with foundation or eye makeup, a lot of times it's the fact that you're not using a primer. And I know a lot of people don't think they need to, but it's probably the #1 cause of whatever, the issue you might be having with your makeup. So what it's gonna do, the primer, is it's gonna put a protective barrier across your lid, and then whatever you're gonna be putting on there, so that it stays in place. So let that dry completely before you go in there with anything else. Going in there with a primer, especially if you have hooded eyes or deep set eyes, will help tremendously. If you do use a primer, just make sure you use one that dries down pretty fast. You don't want to have to wait forever for this to dry down. Okay, now picking a liner for mature eyes, you want to pick the right shade of liner. You don't want to go in there with black, or you don't want to go in there with anything too dark, and you do want one that's long wearing and waterproof. I'm going to be using this one here. This one is from Makeup Forever. And you can see it's a very soft brown. It's not too harsh looking. And what I do is I will go in with the mirror, and I will take it and go directly into that lash line. Then I'll go over and do the top. I'll go in there and I'll just kind of go right into that lash line and press it in and pull. Sometimes I can just dot it all the way across like that. So when you're done, it should look something like that. So the tricky thing is, we do want to smudge it lightly, because I just think it looks better on mature eyes. It just looks softer. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a pencil brush like this, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to smudge it lightly. I'm going to take and drag it across, go right into that lash line and soften it up. So when you're done, it should look something like that. Now, this is my favorite trick, is now you want to go in there, you want to take that same pencil brush. What you want to do is you want to go in and you want to take the same shade of eyeshadow that the liner is, and go in there and set that in place. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to use this one here. It's about the same shade. And I'm just going to dab it lightly. I'm going to dab off any excess, because you don't need a lot. And I'm just going to go in and I'm going to take that and dab that across that lash line like so. And what this powder does is that will lock everything in place so that it won't transfer up until your upper part of your lid, or even in the lower lash line. And it just looks very soft and natural looking. Another mistake I see mature women making is taking that liner and then going across their waterline on the lower lash line. And what happens is my eyes, I don't know about you, have a tendency to tear throughout the day, especially when it's hot out. And if you're gonna go in there and put a liner in there, it's just gonna end up transferring to your under eye. So what you can do is, if you do like that look, is take that pencil brush, right, and go in there with that color that we use to lock in the liner on the upper lid, and just take a little bit and just go in there and run it across your lower lash line like so, without any of that liner. And that will just lock that in place, and it just kind of softens up the eye too. If your eyes do water throughout the day, take some Q-tips, bring some Q-tips with you. Don't rub your eye, don't take a tissue and just wipe it across. Just go in there and take the Q-tip and jab it in the corner of your eye, and then you can just like wipe up any of that water that's in there with the Q-tip, and that way you don't have to rub your eye at all. Okay, let's go in and do the other eye. And I can show you another trick to do on the other eye. So if you go in there, you can go and use that same pencil, go in and go right into that waterline, and then go over the top and just dab that lightly across the top. I'm just really kind of skipping it across there. I'm not drawing a heavy line. Then I'm gonna smudge that out. And instead of going in there with the same color, I'm gonna go in there with a lighter color. And you're gonna see that that's gonna give it a little bit of a different look. So I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna take the one right above it. So this was a cool color that I used on this eye. Now I'm gonna go in there with a warm color, and you're gonna see that that's gonna give it a little bit different look. And I'm gonna just dab it in there very gently. Tap off any excess, and then I'm gonna just go and set that in place with the warmer color, and that's gonna give it a little bit of a different look. But yet it's still gonna have the same effect of locking that in. There you go, can you see the difference? What I can do is take that same color and go into the lower lash line, wipe that across there like so. That's a little less dramatic than this eye over here where I went in there with the darker eyeshadow. So there you have it. Those are 2 ways that you can set your eyeliner during the summer months, or just any time in general, so that it does not smudge and go anywhere. And then if you do have a problem with your lashes transferring in the summer months too, or just in general, go in there with a lash curler and curl those lashes. Go in there, I'm gonna take this tubing mascara from Maybelline, and because I curled the lashes, it's gonna lift them up higher, so it's actually gonna open my eye up more too. And go in there with a tubing mascara that is waterproof and sweat resistant and humidity resistant, and go in there and give it a coat of mascara. So there you have it. Well, thank you so much for watching. If you did gain any value, please consider subscribing, giving this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video. All right, everyone, bye-bye.